the Lord gives us the consolation of communion. As the good angels are well bonded amongst themselves, so too souls can be bonded, both in community and in the community of holy matrimony. It is not always the case, as we know. Indeed, one seems to get the impression that really peaceful and serene marriages are not that frequent. Years ago, our prior did mention something, because he had much experience in this realm with souls over the years. He said, les vrais mariages d'âme sont très rares. True marriages of soul are very rare. And one does look around and see maybe he was correct in his sizing up of things. For many, if one scratches a bit under the surface, are in some kind of cohabitation mode, but not in communion of soul. The proof is that rather than look one another in the eyes, they look at screens, but separate screens. It doesn't have to be so. In preparing couples for marriage years ago in the monastery, people might be coming on retreat, Christian couples, I did used to insist on one thing, the sacrality of the meal. There should never be any third party there in the form of a screen. And that was before these modern gadgets came in, for the television was already present in many people's homes in the very place where they ate. Why should some other invisible party be put there in the midst and block out true conversation and communion between spouses and children? And now, years down the line, one sees that it's got far worse. There are children who come to the table with some kind of screen, or they nibble away in some corner rather than at the table itself. In the Holy Family of Nazareth, those meals would have been sacred. Joseph would have had a paternal role of presiding in the Jewish mode over them, especially on a Friday evening, and there would have been a true communion of soul between those present. We are not animals coming to the trough. We are souls sharing our life. And the pauses of the meal are inbuilt in our day so as to refresh us. We don't need more of the same thing at that point. In student days, there were simple means of having communion, going for a walk together, praying in a chapel together. Fortunately, that was before this new generation of other stuff. Because even good Christian friends now, in the middle of a conversation, bring out a screen and say, look at this. They can't look at each other calmly without any crutch. And in the places of culture, moments of good academic conversation over coffee between lectures are now being sacrificed to this other bubble-forming, independent mode, where the wit is not sharpened anymore, and the art of interchange with other students on every conversation possible is being sacrificed to this invisible world. We were not born to have communion with a screen. The Lord gave us helpmates, either in community, good community life, or in the domestic charge of marriage. We are called to love. The modality of that love is different according to one's state of life, but it is love. And if that is being lost or sacrificed, we are missing the point and missing the joys that the Lord had prepared for us. Ubi caritas et amor, ubi caritas Deus ibi est, ubi caritas et amor, ubi caritas Deus ibi est, ubi caritas et amor, ubi caritas